Edition on KBC Channel 1, I am Fayyaz Qureshi. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition is Byron Abuli. But first, a quick look at stories making headlines on tonight's bulletin. He was a man of integrity. President Ruto defends Wafula Chebukati's legacy as Kenyans bid farewell to the former IEBC boss.
They are giving priority to implementation of the NADCO report.
Dissecting the big pact. Opinion remains divided over the political deal signed between ODM and UDA. And Happy Women's Day. Kenyans rally to protect the gains made in the protection of women. Welcome back. Kenyans continue to express their opinions concerning the working agreement signed on Friday between President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga has faulted opposition leaders Kalonzo Musyoka and Wiper Democratic and Eugene Wamalwa of DAP Kenya for calling the agreement betrayal, saying Kenyans have a collective responsibility of uniting the country. This as the church has been urged not to take political sides.
Formalization of the broad-based government arrangement by President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga continues to elicit varied reactions from Kenyans. In Homa Bay, Governor Gladys Wanga hit back at those terming the agreement a betrayal.
Wacha niwaambie, na wacha niwaulize, how can unity be betrayal? How can equity be betrayal?
In Migori, the county woman representative Fatima Mohammed applauded the pact, saying it is necessary for the nation's stability.
Tunajua ndugu Ruto pamoja na baba uchumi utaimarika. Tunajua amani itakuwa Kenya.
And in Nairobi, a group calling itself Youth for Broadbase has also expressed its support for the agreement between the two leaders. However, the youth, led by their chairman Kasmuel Makaure, demanded the full implementation of the agreement.
We want you to implement that NADCO report. Go and read the WAKI report, go and read the TJRC reports, all these reports that involve justice, reconciliation, equality, and the freedom and liberty of the Kenyan people. Implement them.
We want to carry out civic education. We'll be doing town hall meetings in each and every county. So what we want to ask you is that wait for us in each and every county. We are going to do town hall meetings to ensure that we educate the youth in this country and tell them the importance of the broad-based government.
Finally, the church has been eyed to remain politically neutral as political realignments take shape in the country. Presbyterian Church of East Africa moderator Reverend Patrick Thegu Mutai says the church should limit its engagement with government to only monitoring the delivery of services to citizens.
Our role is to pray, support government, telling it when it is not doing right with a lot of love. But again, we shouldn't be activists. Because some of us have become activists, political activists. We shouldn't.
Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
First Lady Rachel Ruto led the nation in marking this year's International Women's Day, where women leaders called on the state to prioritize financial inclusion to empower women and girls. Speaking at the Tomboya University grounds in Homa Bay County, she highlighted poverty as a significant challenge affecting many women in Kenya due to limited financial empowerment, emphasizing the need for concerted efforts to improve women's socio-economic status.
Homa Bay County was the focal point of this year's International Women's Day, celebrated under the theme For All Women and Girls, Rights, Equality and Empowerment. Hundreds gathered at the Tomboya University grounds to mark the occasion, which highlighted the critical role women play in Kenya's development. First Lady Rachel Ruto reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting women through various initiatives aimed at improving financial stability and access to to healthcare.
I want to assure every woman in Kenya that our president is committed to fulfilling his promises to women in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, including economic inclusion, better participation in decision-making, and protection from any possible harm.
Ida Odinga, who accompanied the First Lady, emphasized the significance of prioritizing girls' education to ensure more women ascend to leadership roles.
Kitu muhimu kwa sisi wakina mama ni kusaidia wakina mama wengine na kusaidia watoto, hasa watoto wetu wasichana, ili wapate kuwa na nguvu, kusoma vizuri.
Meanwhile, Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga underlined insufficient financial resources as a hindrance to women securing elective positions. The event emphasized the need for increased financial support and educational opportunities to enhance gender equality and empower women across the country. Doreen Arange for Legends Edition.
In a major step towards improving maternal and child health, Tessie Musalia Mudavadi, through the Okoa Malaika program, today donated crucial neonatal equipment to Moi Referral Hospital in Voi, Taita Taveta County. The handover of life-saving devices, including incubators, incube blankets, ventilators, and other essential tools, aims to address the increasing number of preterm births and neonatal complications in the region.
Davide has stressed the urgency of strengthening healthcare infrastructure to ensure that every newborn, regardless of their background, is given a fighting chance at survival. She noted that between 2024 and 2025, 20 out of 99 newborns died in Taita Taveta County.
These numbers are not just statistics. They represent mothers grieving, loss of their newborns, families shattered, and dreams unfulfilled.
She said the Okoa Malaika initiative aims to strengthen maternal and newborn services in the county.
The equipment we are providing today will not only save lives, but also ensure that women and their newborns receive the care they deserve, regardless of their social, economic status.
Mchikira Derejai, a mother whose baby was born prematurely, was grateful for the initiative, calling for more support for working mothers with preterm babies.
I've already used my 30 days, so I have only 60 days to go back to work. For a preterm mother, is very difficult because some mothers spend even 90 days.
The Taita Taveta County Deputy Governor Christine Kilalo praised the partnership and acknowledged the program's role in reducing infant mortality rates.
Kuko na vituo kadha vya afya ambavyo tumeweza kufaulu kuwapatia hizi vifaa za kisasa kwa ajili ya kutunza watoto.
Through the Ushirika Wema Foundation, the Okoa Malaika program has distributed incubators and incube blankets to 22 counties, including Taita Taveta, Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River, Garissa, and Lamu. Mariambo reporting for the Legends Edition.
As the world marks International Women's Day, this year's theme, Accelerating Action, calls for urgent and decisive steps towards gender equality. In Kenya, one of the key battles remains the attainment of the two-thirds gender rule, which aims to ensure that no more than two-thirds of elected or appointed officials are of the same gender. However, as it stands, both the National Assembly and Senate have yet to meet this constitutional requirement. We explore the strides made, the challenges faced, and the road ahead for women in leadership. Kamche Menza has more.
The much-acclaimed Kenyan Constitution 2010 introduced the two-thirds gender role enshrined in Article 27, Section 8. However, 14 years and 3 general elections thereafter, Parliament remains short of compliance. In the Senate, with 67 members, 3 are elected women senators and 18 nominated, making it 21. At least 23 should be women to meet the required 1/3 and ensure that there is no more than 2/3 of either gender. Currently, with only 21 women senators, the Senate is 2 short of the target. In the National Assembly, where the requirement stands at 117 women out of the 349 members, only 81 women serve, comprising the 47 county women MPs picked through affirmative action, 28 elected in single constituencies, and 6 nominated. This is 36 short of the threshold.
There is a time we only had 1 woman as a member of parliament. Right now we are speaking of 102 women across the 2 houses, and I think that is phenomenal, and not just in Africa, even in the world, because I don't think so many other countries are able to do that. You will have to count maybe Sweden, maybe Rwanda, but I think Kenya has been a pace setter in terms of women representation. And I think one of the things that have made us come this far would be the issue of affirmative action. I don't think many constitutions have been able to recognize the issue of giving women a head start.
The 2/3 implementation is coming. It's a bit slow. It has its own bottlenecks, but however, I feel strongly that we are going to achieve it soon.
Na hawa kina mama ambao wamepata affirmative action kama wale 47, tunawaambia iwapo wewe umechaguliwa kupitia kiti cha affirmative action na umekuwa sasa kisiasa, umekuwa pia pengine umesave kifedha, uende kiti chengine upigane na kina baba. Mfano mzuri ni mimi mwenyewe. Nilikuwa women representative tamu moja, na nikasema sasa nimejengwa uwezo, nataka kuleta nafasi mama mwingine wa Mombasa aingie tuwe na kina mama wawili katika bunge la kitaifa.
The gravity of Parliament's non-compliance with the 2/3 gender rule once prompted the judiciary to advise the president to dissolve Parliament. The National Dialogue Committee report jump-started the compliance process that is now being considered at both houses, where members are upbeat about it.
The challenge is the lip service from the male side. The lip service from the male side. We have seen many other issues as when you're discussing, of course, they would what they say is not what they mean. So it's for us women to hold ourselves together.
Na ndio juzi na jana magavana wa kike wameweza kulaunch ile inaitwa G24. Tunatarajia na tunaomba inapofika mwaka 2027 tuwe na magavana wa kike 24, na pia tunatarajia tuwe na wabunge wasiopungua 50 katika bunge letu la kitaifa, mbali na wale ambao watateuliwa kulingana na nguvu ya chama vile ilivyoleta wabunge bungeni, lakini tunataka tuwe na kina mama kwa uchache, kina mama 50 wachaguliwe katika ile maeneo bunge.
Cognizant of this challenge, women legislators under the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, KWOPA, are determined to have more women elected. To this end, KWOPA is training women political aspirants, empowering them to counter challenges such as violence during campaigns, financial constraints, and party biases.
Kuna cases nyingi sana. Mama amepatikana amenyolewa nywele na opponent ametuma vijana wamemchapa, wamemngoa nywele. Ilitokea hapa Kenya, wamemngoa nywele. Unapata sana mama ametumwa na vijana, wameenda hata wana blog wanamtukana matusi yote. Sasa tunasema haya pia ni mambo ambayo tunayakemea, na ni mambo ambayo pia tunaitengeza sera na sheria ya kwamba kina mama lazima walindwe dhidi ya matusi.
Getting the women that have the mettle to run starts from the political parties, and that's where the affirmative seats come in. So I think as we celebrate this International Women's Day, what I would say is to look at the challenges. We have the representation, we have the numbers. Are we doing the best we can as legislators?
This is our time for us who are here to show the world, or to show Kenya, that even wanawake wanaweza. We've been given this chance. To be honest, let us not throw it.
The road to gender equality in Kenya has been long and winding, but progress is being made. Women leaders insist that true change will come when laws are fully implemented and barriers to political participation ironed out. Kamchemenza for the Legends edition.
Right, it's time for a quick break. We'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Inuka na Loto Moto Sasa kwa star 570 hash option ya 4 kuna kashamba juja na nika 50 by 100 worth 1.7 million Kenyan shillings. Na hii si shamba tu, iko kwa prime location, few minutes from Juja Town. Stima yako iko ndani, na kama ni development, rapid and so promising. Na mambo ya landlord, mwisho wa mwanzo ni hapa. Ukishinda hili shamba, tunakuongeza 1 million Kenyan shillings ujijengee nyumba yako kwa shamba yako. Kuinuka na loto moto ni kucheza sasa hivi kupitia star 570 hash option ya 4 au register deposit na ucheze sasa hivi kwa www.tushinde.com na ujishindie shamba hili na addition of 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inuka na loto moto!
As we celebrate the strength, resilience, and achievement of women across all sectors of society, at KBC, we are committed to advancing gender equality by amplifying women's voices in media, promoting equal opportunities in our workforce, and telling stories that inspire and empower. Through inclusive programming and policies that support women in leadership, we continue to break barriers and foster a culture of equity. Let us all work together to create a future where every woman thrives. Happy International Women's Day.
Sawa.
Alex, kwani kuna shida?
Hata ni bahati dada alikuwa na accomplice.
Kwa hivyo babako ni muuaji. Next time usiniambie ujinga kama hauna evidence enough, sawa?
Na huu mkora Alex alimtoa wapi?
All I need ni pesa tu kiasi, niko chini.
Toka!
Alex, sasa ni nini? Unajua hata kuna kitu nilikotaka tuongee. Lakini
Jackie, naomba msamaha.
Ile kitu ningekufanyia wewe ungesahau.
Ni shetani. Na si umetaja hiyo jina sana. Na akikamapo utadu.
Sasa kuna deal imeivana hapa, deal ya gold.
Bado hujaniambia kwa nini umeniita hapa.
Na kuna idea poa sana nataka kukuambia.
You know, there is one way we'll counter my uncle.
Which is?
Just get me pregnant, Alex.
Kai. Kamdingo kapienga.
Welcome back. One of the tenets of International Women's Day is valuing and celebrating the difference in gender. In Kenya, however, this principle came under so much assault with alarming cases of femicide late last year that sort of dampened the celebratory mood around this day. As Kamche Menza reports, delayed justice, weak law enforcement and inadequate resources are to blame for the attacks that targeted the weaker gender.
In August 2024, Kenyans were shocked by news of the escape from police custody of Collins Jumaisi Kalusha, the prime suspect in the murder of 42 women. Then, between September and November 2024, Kenyan police recorded a startling 97 cases of femicide. This worrying trend has been attributed to delayed justice, lack of resources, and weak law enforcement.
Where the gaps lie is the backstops to the police. The police in Kenya have not been supportive. In other countries, you hit a woman, that is the end of your life. You will lose your career, you'll never be hired anywhere, and the police take action. But here, any woman who goes to report at the police station never gets any help.
From the legal and policy framework front, Parliament has passed several laws to safeguard women, the foremost being the Sexual Offences Act of 2006. Then came the Division of Matrimonial Property Act, Family Protection Domestic Violence Act, Victim Protection Act, Marriage Act, and Counter Trafficking in Persons Act, among others. Many as they are, their non-implementation has, however, literally rendered them toothless.
The challenge, of course, is in the implementation. So you find that's why, for instance, the cases of femicide are now on the increase, because most people know that you can actually get away with murder because of the issue of, because nobody holds people accountable. And because of lack of accountability, impunity has increased. And because of that, what I would want to say is we must enhance accountability. And the challenge then lies, 1, in the executive, and 2, in the judiciary.
We want the gender police officer desks to be domiciled in the hospitals, so that as you report, you get the P3 form. Because now what happens, when a woman is injured, she has to leave the hospital, go to the police station, get a P3 form, and then go and take it again to the hospital. So you're just making it more painful. So as we celebrate the International Women's Day, can the IG move all the gender police officers to the hospital?
This even as they called for widening the net in gender equality beyond just the numbers. In January 2025, President William Ruto launched a 42-member technical working group on gender-based violence, including femicide. The team, led by former Deputy Chief Justice Dr. Nancy Baraza, has been directed to assess, review and recommend measures to strengthen the institutional, legal and policy response to GBV and femicide in the country. Kamche Menza for the Legends edition.
As the world marks International Women's Day, it is worthwhile to single out some of the unsung heroines. One such woman is Sister Mary Musembi, who runs a home for unknown persons. These are men, women and children whose origins are unknown. Some are accident victims who lost their memory and children who are dumped in the most unlikely places. We celebrate Sister Mary Musembi.
Our search for uncelebrated heroines takes us to Kaunyweni village in Masinga sub-county of Machakos County. Here at the Maxi Servants of the Poor home, we find Sister Mary Musembi. We ask her, how did the unknown victims get here?
Most of our clients here, we are both adults and children. Adults, most of them have lost their memories. Children are the ones with special need cases. And we get them from hospitals, most of them.
The home currently shelters 9 unidentified adults and 11 children. Sister Musembi provides for their medical needs despite facing immense challenges. Many of the required medication need refrigeration, yet electricity remains a distant dream.
We are actually in need of electricity because most of our clients use medication that should be refringed in fringe, and because of lack of electricity, it is very difficult to store them. So we sometimes ask the nearest facility to assist us just to refrigerate the medication.
Founded in 2018, the home is still struggling due to lack of funding.
Through well wishes, I've managed to run this institution by just little donations from Kenyans. We actually, 99% of the funds we receive here are from Kenyans.
Despite these hardships, Sister Mary Musembi presses on, treating these individuals as her family. Even in death, she ensures they receive a dignified farewell. This year alone, she has buried 2 children within the home compound. When asked whether she would choose a different path if given a chance, here is what she had to say.
I'm extra happy when I'm giving back the lost dignity to those who have lost their hope, to those who are not loved, to those who nobody applies mercy. Because in our present society, the spirit of love is decreasing daily. And people don't mind about others. But us as women, we should show that love to those who are not loved.
As we mark International Women's Day, Sister Musembi stands out. She shares her message on this day that is being marked globally.
I encourage the women to take initiative of anything, and they should not mind of what people think about them. Let them let their dreams be fulfilled. Let the women dream higher. It doesn't matter if the society does not value, but be confident on whatever you do, because you do it, you are able, and you can do better than what people think.
Mental health remains a silent killer in our society, but for one 28-year-old Quinta Nalyaka, it was a trigger for her to start a mental health foundation to help those vulnerable in the community. Hers is a story of resilience as she beat the odds to stand out and encourages those going through difficult mental issues to speak out and get the help they need. Our reporter Nburu Report brings us this inspiring story.
A survivor of technology-facilitated gender-based violence, Quinta talks about the bittersweet journey that inspired her to becoming a founder of Girls for Girls Mental Health Foundation. Understanding how expensive therapy can be following her ordeal, Quinta offers mental health literacy that has empowered a lot of vulnerable people in Bamburi Utangi area where the foundation is located. Slowly growing her passion of becoming a mental health champion, Quinta has a mobile therapy unit that traverses 5 counties in the Coast region and envisions going countrywide. Her journey hasn't been without challenges, and her appeal to the government is to make mental health medication affordable to all. On this International Women's Day, we celebrate her resilience and steadfastness in her quest for a society free from mental health challenges. From Mombasa County, I am Nburu.
Over 200 people took part in the inaugural edition of the March in March charity walk held today in Karen Estate, Nairobi. Participants, the majority of whom were women celebrating International Women's Day, took part in the 5.5 kilometer and the 4.7 kilometer walk starting from Kombe Road to Karen Waterfront Gardens. The walk, organized by the Intrepid Foundation, was aimed at raising funds to support anti-poaching programs in the Mara, empowering Maasai women to create sustainable livelihoods and provide bicycles to school-going rural children and health workers in Kenya. The walk will be held annually with the possibility of including road races to attract more participants interested in running.
I come from a patriarchal community, the Maasai community, where women rights are not respected, where equality is unheard of. And through the partnership with Intrepid Foundation, we have a team of 15 women now that are earning an income every month, meaning financial independence. And that's exactly the essence of International Women's Day.
To me, this is an exercise. That's number one, very refreshing, but I also look at it as a networking opportunity because we get to meet other partners that Intrepid are supporting.
Kupitia star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this beautiful Mazda Demio. Enjoy a beautiful clean semi-leather interior, low mileage, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business. Ukitaka kujishindia gari hii, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option 3. And for only 35 shillings, hii gari inaweza kuwa yako. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Mungu ni mwema, asante Mungu. Ile nitakuwa naendesha hivi.
Dial star 570 hash and make this dream car yours.
Cheza Loto Moto.
I asked her out. I asked her if she could be my girlfriend.
What did I do?
And she burst out laughing. She was like,
Burst out
what?
laughing. I was like, what?
We actually did a Mount Kenya hike when we were dating.
Yeah. I think all dating people should do Mount Kenya. You don't shower for 4 days.
5 days.
Yeah, 5 days.
Correction.
Like all manner of, petals, like everything.
When you're doing coffee, it's usually staged. It's managed. But now, when you're out there, like
it was so intense. Everyone was like, I remember telling the girls, "Me, I'm not engaged. Me, I can bounce like right now." We like to say that life has been generous with us, eh? Yeah, so I think one of our hardest seasons in marriage was 2017. Literally what we suffered from was shattered dreams because we came back with nothing.
Who's most likely to be the first to say, "I'm sorry"?
Imagine, unalea mtoto, anakuwa mtu mzima na anakuondokea, anakaa kivyake. Dakika ya mwisho, anarudi tu kama mtoto. Wewe ndio kumpea chakula, wewe ndio kumfulia nguo, wewe ndio mambo yote. Mefika mwisho, hata mkiangalia hii mtoto, kama mimi nilikuwa na uwezo, hangekuwa hivi. Kama dakika hivi naongea hivi. Hakuna dawa ya kukuza nyumba hii. Hakuna pesa ya kumrudisha hospitali. Tafadhali, naomba usaidizi kutoka kwenu na Mungu atawabariki.
Welcome back. Former IBC chairman Wafula Chebukati has been laid to rest. Chebukati was eulogized as a courageous, straightforward and forthright leader who set the bar high for the Electoral Commission to deliver a credible election.
President William Ruto led government officials, friends and relatives in bidding farewell to the departed immediate former IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati. Chebukati was eulogized as a courageous, firm and a person of high integrity while at the helm of the electoral body.
Saa zingine inasemekana mtu amepata kazi, lakini kuna wakati mwingine inasemekana kazi imepata mtu. Kwa Chebukati, nasema without fear of any contradiction, kazi ilimpata mwenyewe. Huyu Chebukati discharged his responsibility, constitutional, legal, moral responsibility as chair of IBC with great distinction.
Some jobs are no ordinary tasks. They are a calling. They are a leap of faith. And many lives depend on those jobs. One such job is the job of being the chairperson of the IBC.
Na alitukuza sisi mawakili wachanga. He mentored us. Wewe ukiwa wakili mchanga na wale mawakili ambao wako hapa watakuwa mashahidi wangu, ni kwamba wakati mwingine ukienda mbele ya koti ukipata hawa wakili ambao wamebobea wakongwe wanapenda sana kukutisha, lakini wakili Chebukati hakuwa na tabia hiyo.
If you did the right thing, he will give you your due. If you did the wrong thing, he will also give you your due. Ndio huyu mzee amelala hapa.
Ndugu yetu Chebukati asikumbukwe kwa sababu ile cheche za maneno kwa siasa. Kwa nini? That's public life. Tungependa tumkumbuke marehemu Chebukati kwa ile mambo mengine mazuri ambayo amefanya, ambayo ni mengi.
Leaders called for proper constitution of the electoral body and transition law.
We learned one lesson, that we need to have order, good regulation, good laws, so that transitions for Kenya shall always be smooth and perfect and in accordance with the law.
President Ruto revealing the intricacies that surrounded the heated moment at Bomas of Kenya.
This Wafula Chebukati, if he was another person, we wouldn't be having the Kenya as we know it today. He went through great intimidation. He announced the elections under great difficulty. But he chose to do the right thing rather than be intimidated or rather than be compromised.
He never gambled with people's lives. Hakucheza kamare na maisha ya watu. Alihakikisha kwamba ni lazima atekeleze wajibu wake kulingana na sheria na kuhakikisha kwamba ukweli ndio unafaulu.
President William Ruto also used the platform to defend his political deal with ODM leader Raila Odinga. Chebukati leaves behind a widow and 3 children.
He has protected us. He told us, wachana na social media, when you see any bad report, just look at it that this person is making money. Ignore. Wachana naye. Yeye anatengeneza pesa. Na anatengeneza pesa kukutumia. So if they want to continue making money, let them talk about the good things that I have had. The tributes that have come out. If there's anybody who knows chairman, it is IEBC.
He would say, there's nothing you cannot do if you set your mind to it. You encouraged me to aim for the sky and to always believe in myself.
Together we traveled thousands of kilometers, Mombasa to Nairobi, Kitale, Njoro, and the Great Rift Valley. He was always in the passenger seat, guiding me with his steady voice. Of course, the road trips weren't without their hiccups. Whenever I hit a pothole too hard or took a turn too fast, my mother would grumble from the back seat, but he would always defend me and say, leave him alone. If I was driving, it would be much, much worse.
Chola Simon, Legends Edition, Tanzania.
Good evening. Once again, it's a big welcome again to the sports segment of the Legends Edition this Saturday evening. I'm Topi Liambila. The national women's under-17 soccer team Junior Starlets boosted their chances of qualifying for their second FIFA World Cup when they beat Uganda 2-0 in the first leg of the second round qualifier. The match was played at the Nakivubo Hams Stadium in Kampala, Uganda. Esther Nasipodwe opened the scoring in the 37th minute before Joan Ogola doubled the lead 9 minutes later. The return leg will take place in Nairobi next Saturday, the 16th of this month. The Junior Starlets advanced directly to the second round after receiving a bye, while Uganda secured their place by defeating Namibia 18-1 on aggregate in the first round. The aggregate winner of this tie will progress to the third round, where they'll face either Cameroon or Ethiopia. The top 4 teams from the final qualification round will join host Morocco in the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, scheduled to take place from the 17th of October to the 8th of November this year.
She wasn't going to miss again. Edna Nancy Pondwe from close range, just making.
On soccer, Tusker FC crashed out of this round of 32 of the Mozart Bet Cup after losing to Nairobi United 5-4 on post-match penalties after 1-1 draw at full time. The game between FC Leopards and Mara Sugar was marred by chaos and stopped in the final minutes while Kariobangi Sharks defeated Zetek 1-0. Let's take a look.
Michael Jairo piga shot natoka nje.
Mpira mbaya sana ule, manake mlinda mlango
chuki na Tusker nini?
Shabiki kindakindaki huyo.
Inapigwa Enoch Mashaka, mlinda mlango anajaribu kuweka mkono wake lakini shindwa kugusa.
Collins Odhiambo
wanakuja Tusker upande wao, kichwa kinapigwa. Wanaingia na Boys anachelewa kuchukua maamuzi. Koja mzima sasa huko ni Omar, kipa anaicheza mtanange huu, anashika jezi hapa kwa Ayano Guto, wanaingia Jim, anaipenyeza hatari, Michael Karamo aliingia kama nguvu mpya, lakini ana Odhiambo, kipa anafungwa. Ameenda Nyambane, nguvu mpya, anafunga Nyambane nzuri. Kadu, kipa anaicheza.
From the rugby scene, the national women's rugby team, Kenya Lionesses, have won the second round of the 2025 World Rugby HSBC 7th Challenger Series after 17-0 whitewash of South Africa at the Atheon Sports Stadium in Cape Town. The Lionesses secured their spot in the final after edging out Colombia 12-5 in the semi-finals at Atheon Sports Stadium. The Kenyan team had advanced to the semi-finals by dominating Group A, where they registered a 17-5 win over Belgium and 10-5 victory against Uganda. South Africa, on the other hand, booked their place in the final after overcoming Czechia 21-15 in the second semi-final. The Kenyan team has now secured back-to-back victories in the Challenger Series, having won the first leg at the same venue last weekend. They will now advance to the third round, scheduled to take place in Krakow, Poland, from the 11th to the 12th of April this year. After this stage, the top 4 ranked teams will qualify for the HSBC 7th playoff in Los Angeles in May, where they will compete for the spot in the HSBC 7th series. Some of the action.
Almost anybody did the entire Colombian side, and Sharon Alma extends the lead for Kenya.
Well, she's the person that gets to score the try, but if you've got to reverse that back about a minute or so, 2 minutes ago, all the attack from Colombia was on that left-hand wing. They were trying to go down that left-hand wing. Unfortunately, Sharon Oma was standing in front of them and they just could not beat her on the outside. And the reason for that is shown precisely here in this try. Her ability to run is sensational. She is quick, she is an athlete, and away she goes. Try time.
Always nice to see a Kenyan team dominating an international tournament. Now on volleyball, DCI and KDF were in Paris form as they won their respective Kenya Volleyball Women League matches at the National Stadium. ACB and Prisons Nairobi earned easy points after their opponents failed to turn up for their matches. This is some of the action from the Nyayo Stadium.
DCI ladies did not struggle a lot in their quest for a win against Kenya Army, whom they beat in 3 straight sets. The first set was easily won by DCI, 25-11, but they lost their grip a little in the second set as they were pushed all the way before they eventually won 28-26. They got back to their game in the third set again to win 25-11. KDF replicated that performance again, young Spikers winning in straight sets of 25-0, 25-3 and 25-13. KCB and Prisons had walkovers against Vihiga and Maranatha volleyball teams. In basketball, Eldonets recovered from a slow start to limit Stanbic Aces to a 69-57 win in an entertaining ladies basketball league match played at the Nyayo National Stadium. Despite the slow start, Eldonets won the first quarter 15-16 but lost the second and third quarters 20-14 and 25-8 respectively. They dominated and won the fourth quarter 9-19 but fell behind to eventually lose the match by 12 points. Snipers won all their quarters to beat Strathmore 61-53, while Zetec Titans thrashed Shoot for Life 94-68. Elsewhere, over 200 junior players competed in the 2025 HDKI Shotokan United Kenya Children's Tournament held at Parklands Baptist in Nairobi. The tournament brought together players from more than 6 learning institutions, including Parkland Sports Club, Viv Kananda, McKenna School, and She Academy, among others.
Our tournament is just for the motivation of the students and just to keep them going and just to get them to know the kind of level that they are at. So when you compete with others, you get more motivation and you can do much more.
The tournament was the first of 3 events set for this year in Nairobi and will be followed by a Shotokan seminar at the Parkland Sports Club tomorrow.
From handball, Boomerang and Desert Scorpion suffered the heaviest defeats in today's handball league matches, as they both went down heavily to Ulinzi Men and Ulinzi Sharks, respectively. Ulinzi Men thrashed Boomerang 60-20, while Ulinzi Sharks stunned Desert Scorpions by 55-6. Let's take a look.
In the men's match that saw Ulinzi score 3 goals for every 1 goal scored by Boomerang, Kevin Imo scored a whooping 15 goals boosted by 9 goals from Gideon Kiprotich to lead a dominant Ulinzi to victory. Austin Oumo was Boomerang's top scorer with just 7 goals. Ulinzi Sharks stunned Desert Scorpions 55-6 with only 4 players of the Scorpion finding the net in that game. Jacqueline Washira and Michelle Mwasia scored a brace each, with Beatrice Esekon and Ann Silla netting a goal each. Rahab Nanjala scored 15 goals for Sharks as Martha Lavender netted 12. In other matches, Daystar defeated Young City 29-22, while Sirius beat NYS 52-25.
Jet A1, cheza avieta bila data bila credo. Dial *892# for instant takeoff. Pepea bila pressure kucrash au kucash out. Avieta bila data, avieta bila credo. Uko na kabambe, wewe pia ni rubani mnoma. Dial *892#. Jet A1, michezobets.com. Cheza kwa kuwajibika. Kushiriki ni miaka 18 au zaidi. BCLB license number 0000664.
Strumming my bed with his fingers, singing my life with his words. Can you feel the love tonight? Lady, for so many years, I thought I'd never find you.
Thank you for staying with KBC Olenya's edition of Now to Rugby, where KCB RFC head coach Oliver Mangeni says his team is shifting focus to the upcoming Enterprise Cup semi-finals after losing 25-17 to Sugar Millers Cabras at the ASK grounds today. The Bangers will attend the booking for revenge against Cabras at the venue in a highly anticipated Enterprise Cup semi-final. Let's take a look at today's action. Now, 150 students from various institutions attended the first of its kind Physio Fusion Symposium that was held today at the Amref International University in Nairobi. The symposium was organized to enlighten students on the research done on new methods of handling patients who need physiotherapy, especially sportsmen and women. Let's take a look.
With new methods of technology both in training and competing in various sporting disciplines, the need to find new methods of treating injuries in sportsmen and women has become a necessity, with continued research on physiotherapy that is required to handle such cases. Today, the first ever Physio Fusion Symposium was conducted in Kenya at the Amref International University in Nairobi.
We want networking because we've noticed that there's so many boundaries between our universities and our colleges. And when we meet in the hospitals, girls, we seem like we don't know each other and we don't want to know each other. So the most important aspect is networking. And then from there, it's also the education aspect. Knowing what is in the curriculum is not what is currently being practiced.
For the students, this event will really play a key role in boosting their morale in their studies. It's also a great avenue for them to come together, network and socialize, because this is not only for Amref International University, it's for all other universities that are teaching physiotherapy as a profession, and also it also brings on board physiotherapists who are practicing.
More than 100 students from various learning institutions, including JKUAT and the Kenya Medical and Training College, attended the symposium that not only beefs up the knowledge in the students, but provides avenues of employment to graduates.
We want the students also to know that it is them next as the medical practitioner. So it begins from here. And this is like a mentorship, so that you don't finish your school and you don't know where to start. From here, someone will be able to understand that, you know what, after my school, I can venture in sports physiotherapy. After my school, I can venture in occupational health and safety. After my school, I can venture into research. After my school, I can come back and do training, be an academician, be a lecturer, or I can go look for a job in clinical hospitals.
The numbers of sportsmen and women who need physiotherapy, especially after operations, have increased due to the growing numbers of athletes competing in the various new sporting disciplines introduced. And the Physiotherapy Council of Kenya, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, are handling those cases.
The key difference between those people who have had operations and the sports, these are people who might be sharing an injury, sharing an pain, but their level of severity, level of injury is different. So physiotherapy can come into terms by knowing that the person I'm attending to, the needs of a sports person is to be able to perform well, is to be able to give the best in that sport. The need of someone who has been done for surgery is to restore, to get back the functions that they were having before.
Physiotherapy helps to restore movement and functions of the body affected by injury, illness or disability, and also reduces the risks of injury or illness in the future.
From the Amref University boardroom, over to now Kenya Golf, where Kenya Golf Union has announced the national team set to compete in the highly anticipated Victoria Cup, scheduled for the 20th to the 22nd of this month at the Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort. The squad includes a team captain John Lejirma from Kenya Railway Club, Daniel Kirago from Muthaiga Golf Club, Sevi Soni from Kidona Golf Club, while Elvis Muigwa from Kiambu Golf Club and Josephat Rono from Golf Park Golf Club, among others. The team, which is aiming to defend its title, has been undergoing intensive training over the past month in preparation for the tournament, first played in 2016. The Victoria Cup has grown into a premier annual golfing event in East Africa. In addition to the main competition, a subsidiary event is set to take place on the 22nd of this month. Let's take a listen. Now, women have made significant strides in the sporting world with record-breaking and history-breaking feats, despite the challenges they face along the way in terms of equality in payments and support as they balance their different roles. Let's take a look.
In Kenya, with the barriers being broken in motorsports as women take to the world to show what they're capable of, with the all-women crew that consists of, among others, Pauline Shegu and Lineta Yuko, mother and daughter Caroline Gatimo and Tinashe, top steward Tuta Mionki, who is among an all-women crew as we head towards the WRC Safari Rally Kenya. Women in decision-making roles work behind the scenes to make the country proud, like Beldin Odemba, who is the first lady coach of Harambee Starlets, who is working hard to take them to the second Women Africa Cup of Nations. Jacqueline Juma, the first ladies coach of Kenya Premier League men's team Talanta FC, who are no longer minnows in the league. Mildred Cheche, the first Kenyan coach to take the Kenya football team to the FIFA World Cup, when the Junior Starlets made their historic debut in the Under-17 finals to beat Mexico in the group phase. Lydia Caparo, the the top lady umpire in Kenya who has broken the barriers in another male-dominated sport. Helen Wawera, the first sportsperson with a disability to reach the finals of the para powerlifting competition in Paralympics to win a bronze in the Commonwealth Games, and a first for Kenya. Asiya Sururu, who became the first Kenyan para rower to make it to 2 consecutive Paralympic Games after her exploits with Jen Denga in tennis. And talking about tennis, Angela Okotoyi is the first Kenyan to win a Grand Slam title in the girls juniors in the Wimbledon when she partnered with Rosa Marinji Tam in the doubles, as Wanjiru Mbugua became the vice president of the Confederations of Africa Tennis and the first woman to do so. And we crown it all with our record breakers in athletics, starting with Faith Chebukati Kipyegon, who became the first woman to win 3 consecutive 1500 meters titles in the history of the Olympic Games and the current Olympic record holder in that race with a time of 3 minutes 51.29 seconds. The 2023 World Athlete of the Year and 2-time Sawyer Awards winner is also the Malt record holder with a time of 4 minutes 07.64 seconds set in Monaco. Her compatriot Beatrice Chebukati is a double Olympic Games champion in the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters and the world record holder in the 10,000 meters with a time of 28 minutes 54.14 seconds set in Oregon. Beatrice Chebukati, who is the 3,000 meters steeplechase world record holder after clocking 8 minutes 44.32 seconds in Monaco, and Ruth Chepngetich, who is the women's world marathon record holder after clocking 2 hours 09 minutes and 56 seconds in Chicago, with Perez Jepchirchir holding the half marathon record and Agnes Ngetich the 5-kilometer road race, just to name but a few. And of course, recently the Kenya Rugby Lionesses, who won the main cup in the HSBC Challenger Series in Cape Town, South Africa, as they continue with their quest.
From celebrating our women in sports, we go over to the EPL, where Callum Hudson-Odoi scored the only goal of the game as Nottingham Forest defeated Manchester City 1-0 at the City grounds to move 4 points clear of the defending champions, who stay fourth but could be overtaken by Chelsea, who meet Leicester. In the other games that played today, Liverpool beat Southampton 3-1, while Crystal Palace edged Ipswich Town 1-0. The other game between Brentford and Aston Villa still going on, with Villa leading in the 74th minute. And this brings us to a wrap from the Legends Edition sports segment this evening. And we hope that you enjoyed the show today, and you'll be with us again next Saturday for more sporting action, and also through the week on KBC Channel 1. As you know that KBC is your sporting partner. Now over to my colleague Fayyaz Qureshi to wrap up. I'm Topi Liambila.
Thank you very much, Topi Liambila, for the latest from the world of sports. And that's all from our newsroom. I'm Fayyaz Qureshi. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Byron Abuli. Have a good night.
Jamii karibu nawe kwa haraka na urahisi. Kwa sasa malipo ya Inua Jamii yanapatikana moja kwa moja kupitia simu ya mkononi. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako kwa niaba ya Wizara ya Leba na Huduma za Jamii.
Inuka na Loto Moto sasa kwa *570# option ya 4 kuna kashamba juja na nika 50 by 100 worth 1.7 million Kenyan shillings. Na hii si shamba tu, iko kwa prime location, few minutes from Juja Town. Stima yako iko ndani, na kama ni development, rapid and so promising. Na mambo ya landlord, mwisho wa mwanzo ni hapa. Ukishinda hili shamba, tunakuongeza 1 million million Kenyan shillings. Ujijengee nyumba yako kwa shamba yako. Kuinuka na Loto Moto ni kucheza sasa hivi kupitia *570# option ya 4 au register deposit na ucheze sasa hivi kwa www.tushinde.com na ujishindie shamba hili na addition of 1 million Kenyan shillings. Inuka na Loto Moto.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
My name is DJ D, and on the ones and twos is
DJ Leo.
We bring you the best of African entertainment.
From Afrobeat to Amapiano.